part 2. Okay, so now I'm just going to go into some gestures. And remember, these are typical. I'm starting with 1A and then working my way through 1B and then through 2A. My prediction is this year, I'm starting in a brand new school. These kids have no language. And I'm starting with 3rd and 4th graders, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Next year I'll just teach 5th and 6th, so I imagine we're going to have to hire a 3rd and 4th grade teacher. And I see them so frequently, I think by 8th grade, they'll for sure be through Spanish too. Easy peasy. My 5th graders I see every day for an hour a day. Oh my gosh, so exciting. So I'm just going to show you the gestures I do for each of these words. For a stand up, I do this and I say it. For sit down, I do this. Super simple. Stand up, sit down. For run, go figure, right? For walk, and you obviously can change it to walk slowly, walk romantically. Kids are like, you're not romantic, maestra. I'm like, thanks guys, jerks. And walk quickly. Grabs, I always do this. I teach this early. I learned this from Mark Mullaney because if they learn things like grabs and leave or get really soon, they can do all of the classroom procedural things with you giving instructions in the target language, which is really nice. So grab is this. They never have to grab anything when we're just learning the word, acquiring the word rather. Touch, I always touch my hand unless I give them a different instruction. So touch your shoulder, touch your mouth, touch your nose. One of my favorite brain breaks to silence everybody, if I'm just noting a lot of side conversations, stand everybody up and I do fast. Maestra says, like maestra says touch your head, maestra says touch your nose, maestra says touch your ears, maestra says touch your shoulders, maestra says touch your mouth. And I always end on mouth because it tends to quiet everybody. Then I sit everybody down and we're usually back on track. For dance, I always dance, and obviously I'm super good at things like the floss and like the sprinkler. My kids think I'm actually really good at dancing. Yeah. I've told them before I'm a Zumba instructor. And I've had a kid once ask if I make any money. It was hurtful. It's okay. I'm okay. For sings, I always grab whatever object is closest to me, whether it's my clicker or my pen, and I make it look like I'm singing. I never sing because I'm not good at it, but some people might sing the word like, canta. Not me. I don't really do that because they don't need to hear that. For is, es and está, is, I don't have a gesture. You don't need a gesture. They acquire that one quickly. They don't need a gesture for that. For gives, I always just do this. And if it's like give to me, I do this. Give to you, I point directly at somebody. That's just what I do. For give to him or her, it's an open hand. And for give to us, this is always my nosotros or us or we. Give to them, it's like an open hand that's moving. Give. For goes, it's always this. And then you add in like what they go on, right? So go in car, go in a bus. It's a big steering wheel, just more dramatic. Go on a bike. Go, va caminando, go walking. Va corriendo, va goes running. Salta, what? For jumps, I just jump? Yep, that's all. For shouts, I just shout the word. Grita, I just shout it. When I want them to show their understanding of grita, I always say, maestra says, shouts, and then I give them a word. So I'll say, maestra says, shouts hello. And they'll shout hello to show their comprehension. For leaves or deja, I always like put my arm behind me. That's what they're doing. For is named or is called, I never used to gesture, but now I do this like a name tag. My 3rd graders today learned this one, and I just showed them, like I told them, guys, I'm drawing a name tag on my shirt. This is called. I can't remember who I saw do that, but it was really powerful, and I found that they acquired it faster with TPR. What? They acquire faster with physical response when they hear a vocab word? Yeah, TPR is powerful. That's why I'm making this video. Okay, for lives, I do this. For has, I do this. Lives, has. For prefers, I do this. And my face is always like you're thinking about what you prefer. For prefers, there's a million things you can attach to prefer, right? So prefers to go, prefers to eat, prefers to live. To travel, travels, like you're on a plane. But then you can say travels in a car, travels in a helicopter. For should, I always do this. You should be listening right now. For wants, it's this, and then you combine this with a million things, right? Wants to eat, wants to go, wants to live, wants to draw. Okay? Actually, draw is more swirly. This is right. Draw is more swirly. For laughs, I always hold my tummy and go. Notice there's no sound coming out. That's really important because they get carried away with this one. They love laughs. But I allow them to laugh if I say como, like, immediately after. If I say laugh like Santa, they go ho, 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 ho. If I say laugh like, I often name people in our building that they like because it's kind of funny to hear them try and laugh like that person. So laughs is always silent. And then this is plays. This is plays. I don't know where I saw that one. That one might actually be the ASL. I'm not sure. Plays. So for plays, I always say a sport right after. Plays American football. Plays football. So you can see me kick. Plays volleyball. Plays basketball. Plays baseball. Plays tennis. Plays. Can you tell I'm not very athletic? I'm really having a hard time thinking of sports. You know, you get the idea. Oh, golf, plays, hockey, or lacrosse. Wait, lacrosse, you don't ride a horse, do you? What's the one where you ride a horse and you hit things? It might be lacrosse. I think it is. No, because kids play lacrosse and you don't have horses. Oh, I don't know. Just ignore that lacrosse one because I don't know what I gesture for that. I would probably do what I just did and get yelled at by kids, which is fine because they would teach me something, and probably in the target language because that's the goal. So for becomes, like when a person, I'm just moving the board so I can see the next set. For becomes, like a person becomes sad, becomes angry, se pone, becomes. I raise my shoulders up, and then I always tell them, like, the action, become sad. And when they drop their shoulders, they land in the expression of the feeling. So becomes sad, becomes happy, becomes excited, becomes angry. Makes sense, yeah, becomes. For eats, I do this, come, for eats. For likes, I do this. For likes a lot, I do this. For doesn't like. I don't teach the word hates. I actually never teach the word hate. I actually did in one class last year, but it was the most incredible community we had built of respect, and they wanted to talk about hating racism. And I was like, I'm gonna teach you the word hate, and I totally disagree with teaching that, but it was so beautiful, and then they talked about other global issues that were important to them, and they used the word hate in that context. And I actually asked them not to share it outside of that class because I really didn't want it to be used in contexts that weren't appropriate, and they respected that. For speaks, for habla, speaks, or talks rather, this. For says to him or her, Le dice for says. I always have two people talking to each other, not just one way. Pointed out. It's talking inward. For laughs, I've already talked about laugh. For needs, I always have my hand open. This is needs. For plays instruments, it's always toca, plays instruments. I say the instrument right after. So play the guitar, play piano. You have to say the instrument. There's no action for toca other than touch. So for plays, it's always you have to say the instrument right after. Trumpet, flute, piano, guitar. And you can tell them whether you want it to be like rock and roll or like acoustic. For buys, I've already shown you. I do the cha-ching and I make the sound cha-ching. For works, I do this, like they're shoveling for works. For, and it actually they break a sweat if they're doing it right. Like I make them work. For costs, I always do this, costs, because like how much does it cost? Costs. For is eating, is sleeping, they acquire it naturally. Ando, yendo, I pointed out, it's pop-up grammar. Underline the ando or yendo, and they guess what it is. It doesn't take long, and that happens early in the year, believe it or not. For sleeps, for snores, you have to use that one sparingly. Or you just make it look like they're snoring like this. I did that when I used to teach elementary, and I'll probably do it since I have 3rd and 4th graders this year. And then when you say like, just like laughs. When you say like a bear, they can snore like a bear. Snore like your dad, snore like your mom, snore like grandpa. Be careful with those if you don't know your kids well enough. If dad's not in the picture, don't use that in that class if you know that there's kids who dad might not be in the picture, or mom might not be in the picture, or grandpa might not be in the picture, whoever. Just be careful with that one. It's more fun to do it with the animals anyways, or with people in the building. Like if you know they really like the humanities teacher, because my kids love Miss Hardesty, I might say, okay, snore like Miss Hardesty, and it's really kind of cute what they do. So wake up is like this, right? So this is sleeps, this is wake up. For make, I always do this. And the reason I do this, it might be because I'm from Colorado. I think of like making a snowball. And I can't remember whether I saw like Catherine Kuipers do this or whether it was Mark Mulaney, I don't know. So makes, can, or is able to, puede, can. Travel, I already showed you. Search for, busca, search for. Encuentra, and they always have to look like surprised. I tell them like eyes big. Finds. Going to do something, like if they're going to eat, going to whatever. Va, a, going to eat, going to dance, going to run, going to jump, whatever it is. I know the light is getting low. I'm gonna do part 3 in a second.